Welcome to Aiki Fit Life. My name is Kevin. I'm your host. Today, I would like to talk to you about how to build an effective punch and use economy of motion. How everything is fairly circular and many movements that I use in Aikido, whether I'm punching or cutting, are all a very similar body movement, whether it's a punch or the wheel or a sword movement. So, I would like to first talk to you about how a sword cut is shaped, how the sword moves itself and how the body moves with the sword as far as my arms. When I am making a cut, the tip of the blade moves in a circle. And it's not that I put it out and then pull it back, but the shape of the body, the design of the body is circular. So if I'm using this hole right here as a reference, when I'm going to cut, let's say I'm going to cut at this ring right here. This is the body, this is a person. So if I drop the back of my sword first, it doesn't even reach the person. But if I throw the tip far away from me, it cuts past the person. The shape of my arms, the arc of movement, then brings the sword back to me, providing the cutting motion of the cut. So the shape of the sword, the shape of the movement is circular, right? And what I want to do when I'm swinging the sword, my hands are facing upright this way. And I'll explain the significance of this shortly. But when I swing, it's a big swing, and it's circular. So for economy of motion, when I'm holding the sword, my hands are in front of me. For Aikido, they're going to spread out. Like my wheel, where I make a 1-2, it's kind of like the bottom and the midpoint or the top of the sword. So it would be a 1-2, right? With the sword itself, the blade is doing a lot of the work, but in Aikido, our hands become the blade. So since my hands hold this way on the sword, when I punch or cut with my hand, personal preference, is straight up and down, rather than this way or coming around different types of punches. I hold my hand up, this way. I'm going to talk about building a punch that can be very strong and very tough, that focuses on speed. To begin with, I'm not going to get into what all the lower body is doing right now. I'm just going to look at the arm shape and the thought behind it. So this is a steel frame with a thin little mat just taped to it. So when I'm punching, I want to hit straight in, right? Notice how when I hit, my whole arm kind of jiggles. What I want to do is find a place where my arm is straight but not locked out. I have a little bit of bend in my elbow with both hands, and I want to bring them all the way back. I'm kind of punching in a circle. My hand is hitting straight in and coming straight back and then dropping. So when I punch, this is kind of like my wheel, but it's smaller, but it's still that circular motion, but a full range of motion. To build a strong punch, this is not a technique you can learn in one day and then just do it. This is something that will take practice over time to toughen the body. So when I'm punching, I don't want to build tension. I want to stay as relaxed as possible. I want to get an amount of tension and impact that doesn't hurt but feels comfortably solid, so that I can stay relaxed and not worry about tensing up because I'm afraid it's going to hurt or I'm going to hit it really hard, right? So what I want to do is just begin building muscle memory. And and I'm not trying to move fast, what I want to do is develop muscle memory in a track of movement so that my body can stay relaxed and my mind doesn't have to think in order to build a stronger punch. What will happen over time by hitting this every day is my arm is getting stronger, my connective tissues are getting stronger, my skin is getting stronger. So that when I'm hitting this, when I begin it, I'm not hitting it hard at all. But over time, day after day, what feels like virtually the same tension and pressure to me actually becomes faster and much, much harder. Because as my body gets stronger, I'm actually hitting it much harder because I'm stronger. But it doesn't feel any different to me. I hope that makes sense. As far as your skin and your knuckles, what you want to avoid is sliding. You don't want to slide on any surface. If you go to a gym and they have punching bags and you look at the punching bags, you'll see streaks of skin where people punch and slide across the bag. And that's bad. That's bad form, that's bad for your skin, that's bad for the punch itself. You want to drive as much force into one point as possible so that I'm moving everything and I'm driving straight in and straight back out. I'm transferring the energy in and moving my arm back out quickly so that I'm not tearing my own arm up, right? So what I want to do with building this track is just gradually stay relaxed, but gradually get faster and faster and faster because my body is more comfortable with the motion. And I'm sure on the first day it'll be like, and people seem like they're Frankenstein trying to learn how to hit something. Don't feel bad if you are like that. Most people start that way. So gradually you'll just speed up. And that's comfortable. Like, it doesn't feel any harder to me to move like that. But I know that it's quicker. And there's more force in the strike. So now, just to show you that this works, I'm gonna squat down here and hit the thing without the pad. So, right? And my hand is not busted up, but I'm hitting that pretty hard. If that's a nice, tender, soft, supple skull, it's gonna put some hurt on somebody. So, when we're punching, or when we're incorporating this into Aikido, let's say I'm cutting, and we're going to use a Temi. Let's say I cut the wheel, and then I strike, and then it's immediately the wheel again. You know, boom, and then it becomes the wheel, because I'm already accustomed to moving in a circular pattern, and I'm building power and speed in that strike. So let's say a punch is coming at me, and I strike them, and then my wheel is also in play. Right? So I cut their hand, punch them in the face, and then can still cut also because I'm used to moving in that circular pattern. To talk more about building the punch, but I'm bringing my lower body into it. When I want to transfer motion or energy, I want to use my body. Right? The force really comes from the ground. I want to stand up pretty tall where I have an axis through my body, okay? And if I hit this, the power comes from my feet. The power does not come from me leaning over to get to it. It turns my hips, right? And even if I'm back here, turning my hips, I can still reach it and impact it. So if I'm punching, I'm pushing with my foot and still standing straight up and down. I'm not giving my balance in order to get the strike. If I strike this, I don't want to step in and lean into it so that I'm off balance. I want to step in to a point that I'm centered, and even if they pull me, then I can be very heavy. So I want to pull and strike, right? So I want to step in and punch it. So I'm sliding in, moving with my center, with my hips, and coming back out so that I'm hard to get a hold of. So if I'm punching, my hip is moving, my hip is moving. But I'm staying pretty straight up and down and well within my platform. When I'm turning with my hips, once this hand has punched, it's coming back. It's pulling. My hips are also pulling it, right? So if I'm cutting, if I'm doing an Aikido technique and I'm cutting, as this one comes forward, my hips are also pulling this hand back. So let's say I caught someone's wrist, and I'm going to cut them in the base of the neck, a Yoko Minuchi, right? So they're punching me, I catch their wrist. I'm pulling them down as I'm punching them in the head, right? So it's not just a strike and then another strike. It cuts, and when this one is coming out, this one is coming back. So everything works together. I typically want to move my whole side together, whether I'm cutting and then cutting, or coming back and coming back, but I want to move with my whole side together. So if I'm punching, this side's coming forward, and then this side is effectively coming forward. You know, even if I'm stepping, or whether or not I'm stepping, this side is coming forward. As I go by. I hope this was helpful. I will expound on some of these principles and points in later videos, but I just wanted to give an introduction to how I punch and why. Please subscribe to Aiki Fit Life, and I hope this helps you. Have a great day.